So the first step in order to experiment for our chemistry would be to wash our cup with some soap and water, therefore cleaning anything or any substance that was within it previously. As you can see, Christine is scrubbing very well and making sure the cup is nice and clean. So then afterwards, Christine turns off the water to save water, and then she gets a towel and starts drying the soap water that she just used to wash the cup. Therefore, this makes sure that the cup is clean and that the water from the faucet will not affect the control that we have. So Christine is drying the cup, and after the cup is dry, this cup will be used to hold the distilled water, which will be used to calibrate. So here we have some spring water or distilled water, and we're pouring the distilled water into the clean cup, therefore allowing us to measure the pH of the distilled water and calibrating our pH meter. So here we have our power supply, and we're going to plug in our power supply for Lager Pro. So we plug it into the outlet, and then we grab the end of the power supply and plug it into the interface right here. So now that we plug in the interface will turn on, and then so what we do afterwards is we grab the adapter, put in the end that is not the USB port, and insert that into the Lager Pro interface. After that has been inserted, we take the USB end and connect that adapter to the laptop or the computer. So after that has been done, the pH probe is then taken and the end of it is connected to channel 1. So here on the screen, you'll see that the pH meter is successfully connected by the pH reading on the top left corner. So before we can experiment, we must calibrate our pH meter first. So in order to do this, we remove our pH from the buffer solution, and we go over to our Experiments tab, click on it, and click on Calibrate, then click on our pH meter. After that pops up, we'll see that there's an option for a 1-point calibration, and we're going to click that because we only have one reference point. So after we click that, we click Calibrate, and we let our pH probe sit within the container so that the pH will reach a stopping point, so that the pH reader can precisely read it. After it's sat there for about 15-20 seconds, we go over there and manually enter in a pH of 7 for our distilled water. Afterwards, we keep our point and we click Done, and we will see that the pH reading at the bottom left-hand corner will say 7. So now afterwards, we can now calibrate. So now we can experiment with our pH. So we get a sample of water and we put our pH meter within it. When we stir a little bit to make sure that the water isn't uniform. And we keep our pH meter in there until the pH of the water and the reading doesn't change anymore. As we can see on the screen, it's still changing, so we don't take it out. But once the pH has stopped at about 6.093 for this case, we remove our pH probe and put it back within the pH buffer solution. After a while, we stir it back in there, and we remove it and put it back within a different container, within a different sample. And so this process is repeated over and over for the remaining samples as well, until all of the samples have been collected and the data has been recorded.